How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome back to the channel and to a quick Overwatch League news video. I really didn't want to have to wait until the next news recap to bring this out because it's just too significant in my eyes. Tonight we're quickly going to discuss the retirement of Haksal from Pro Overwatch. About 30 minutes ago as of this recording that I am making, the alexyOWL posted a little thing on their Twitter thanking Haksal for what he did for the team this year and the fact that yes, he is retiring from the Overwatch League. I don't know if I'd go as far saying I'm shocked about this, but I definitely am very sad about it nonetheless, and I'm sure a bunch of you out there will also be very sad about this because this is a big time loss, you know? Haksal is a legend of the game for those of you who have been watching him for a long time now. He has been there since the beginning essentially. He has some of the greatest longevity I have ever seen in a career in Pro Overwatch. I mean, it's crazy. When you think about it, his career started back in Apex on Runaway in 2016. He's been in the Overwatch Pro scene for that long. We're talking 4 whole years of dedication to this game, and now it's gone in an instant. As of this recording, he has not made a post saying why he decided to retire from the league or make any sort of thank you or anything like that. I have nothing to go off of, but again, let me just reiterate the fact that I'm not entirely surprised that he decided to hang it up, just because I feel like his passion and love for the game has steadily been decreasing over the last year or so. I would assume that it all really started the moment that things started to go downhill with the Vancouver Titans. And no, I'm not just talking about the breakup that happened this year. It goes beyond that because there were lots of rumors out there that there were internal issues way before Season 3 even started. It goes without saying that this is constantly going to be a mentally taxing thing. It's going to leave a toll on you. It's not going to go away overnight or anything. As long as the problem still exists, you're going to suffer. And I think even when he joined the alexyOWL, it probably did linger a little bit. He was happy to be away from the Vancouver org, obviously, but now he was facing the fact that he wasn't winning. He still wasn't able to win that Overwatch League championship he wanted. He was still losing a lot of games. The alexyOWL struggled at times this year, so I think that might have taken a toll as well. You would have to assume that the rush, that adrenaline, that amazing feeling you used to have of competing during like the early Vancouver days and during the Runaway days is just completely depleted, and I feel like he probably just wants to go to a different game at this point. I don't know if it's necessarily the same way that he thinks now as he did back in the day, but I remember when Vancouver first broke up and they released all of their Runaway players, he said that he was considering retirement back then, I believe, or maybe taking a break, and that he wanted to maybe go towards like League of Legends or I think Valorant, I don't know, but one of those two games, I'm pretty sure. For the remainder of the video, I just wanted to take some time to reflect on Haksal's career and just think about everything that he has done and accomplished. The first thing I wanted to say is that it's really just insane to me to think that 2 of the people who won awards in 2019 are retired now. Both Sinatra and Haksal, aka the 2019 MVP and the 2019 Rookie of the Year, and they were both role stars as well, they're just gone. We have lost 2 of the top players from that time period in the same year. How? Like, how did we end up in this reality? Like with Sinatra, Haksal does have a Hall of Fame resume and profile going for him, without a doubt. I mean, he has done so much. So like I said previously, he's won Rookie of the Year, he was a role star, and not to mention, during 2019, he also won the Stage 1 title with the Vancouver Titans as part of arguably one of the most dominant GOATS teams we have ever seen. What I love about Haksal, though, is his success doesn't just translate to the Overwatch League, it also translates over to other leagues, like with Tier 2, for example, where he did win a South Korean Contenders title with Runaway, again as one of the most dominant GOATS teams in the world, in that victory over Kongdu Panthera, which is a very memorable match for a lot of people. And while this doesn't necessarily translate over to championship victories or anything, he was part of multiple teams that did win their fair share of games, like with the Vancouver Titans in 2019, for example, or a couple of those Runaway teams, not just from Contenders, but also during the Apex days. Those Apex teams that he was a part of did go to 2 different finals where they did lose to Lunatic High and GC Busan respectively, but I don't think I need to remind any of you who watched those games that both of those series went the distance to a 7th map. They were 1 map away from winning an Apex title on 2 different occasions. And that's kind of where that curse of Runaway not being able to win comes into play, because they came so close so many different times, and then it did translate over to the Overwatch League when they did end up falling short to the Shock in the grand finals. But whether he did win the finals or not all of those times, the fact that he was able to make it to so many finals to begin with really goes to show you the dominance that him and his teams had over the years and just that drive to win that he had, you know? It was never enough. He was never satisfied. He always kept working at it. That's part of what makes Haksal such a great character. That determination he has to keep on going, to keep pressing on the fight even when things get hard. He's one of the most resilient players I've ever seen. To play for that long, even though he went through so many losses and so many hardships, really shows you the type of guy he is. The hard work and dedication that him and his teammates put out through all the years translates on stage, where he was able to entertain us so many different times. I mean, how many amazing games has this guy been a part of in pro Overwatch history? Just think about it. You have the 2 bouts with the San Francisco Shock in the Stage 1 and Stage 2 finals, which are arguably the 2 greatest games of GOATs we have ever seen. Then later on in the year, you have that winners finals matchup against the NYXL that went the distance. And how about before that, when we go over to contenders, that amazing matchup with Kongdu Panthera, which is arguably one of the greatest games ever and one of the greatest comebacks ever for that matter. Speaking of comebacks, there's that lead they gave up against Lunatic High in the Apex Season 2 finals. That was arguably one of the greatest games ever too, even though it didn't go the way they wanted to, and it was really sad for both Runaway and Haksal. He's still part of history either way, one of the greatest games we've ever seen. My point is though, whether it was for a positive or negative reason, Haksal has been part of pro Overwatch's history like every single year. Apex in 2017, 2018 had Contenders, 2019 the Overwatch League Grand Finals, and in 2020 he was part of one of the greatest collapses in League history. His richness in Overwatch history goes beyond what teams he played on though, and the matches he played in. You have to think about it from an individual aspect as well, because he's one of the greatest Genjis to ever play this game. Some will even tell you he is the best pro Genji ever. There aren't many players out there who can play that hero as consistently as he can. I believe that Sideshow put it the best back at the beginning of September when he said that Haksal's Genji is absurd. Doesn't matter what the state of the hero is, he always makes it look busted. And I could not agree more, because whenever he touches that hero, he always looks so incredibly OP on it. He has such a high IQ, and his smarts are only matched by some of the most insane mechanics. I mean, they are some of the greatest I have ever seen, and I'm not just talking at the pro Overwatch level. I mean in general, I'm talking all Overwatch players. He has some of the cleanest mechanics ever. When it's all said and done, I think without a shadow of a doubt, Haksal is going to be known as one of those guys who taught the world how to play Genji, one of the innovators, if you will, like with Miro and Winston and Ryujie Hong and Ana. I really do regard Haksal's Genji play that highly. I mean, he's right up there with some of the all-time greats who you'd also consider to be the innovators of Genji, like your Who Are Yous and your Sparkles, maybe even like Libro or Prophet, depending on who you're talking to. And if you want a Western example, there's like Agilities. I think I might have Haksal ahead of all of those guys though. If not, he's in a tie with like Who Are You, I guess, but it's really close. Well, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to do to commemorate Haksal's career as a pro Overwatch player. In my eyes, he is a first ballot Hall of Fame player with an amazing career and a fantastic resume to go along with it. I really wanted to extend my gratitude and my thankfulness to Haksal for everything he has done for us fans throughout the years. It seriously is amazing. He has gone through a lot, like much more than most players, I would say. All of the sacrifices he made, all of the hardships he faced, all of the losing, the drama with the Vancouver Titans. There was so much that happened throughout his career, but he stuck with it, and I'm very thankful for that. I wish Haksal nothing but the best of luck as he decides what to do next with his pro gaming career, and I really do hope he finds success and happiness wherever he goes. And that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, so let me know what you think of Haksal's retirement down in the comment section. How are you feeling about it? What are you thinking about now that he's gone? And let me know if you have any other memories that I didn't bring up down in the comment section. I'd love if you'd share them with me. And of course, if you guys enjoyed the video, it would mean a lot to me if you could hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you're new, if you want to stay up to date with all things Overwatch League news related. And as always, thanks so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate your support. And until next time, this is ATP, signing out. Peace.